Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Sport Rep Show. My name is Limba Mupetami. Let's get into today's hit list. Brave Warriors forward Sydney Urikop is among dozens of people left licking their wounds at the hands of controversial self-styled businessman Simon Kapenda, who allegedly received the footballers $215,000 for a property that was never delivered since 2016. Kapenda, clearly not new to controversy when it comes to botched deals and promising mega investments that never came to pass, raked in hundreds of thousands from at least 25 buyers, including several public personalities whom he sold land on the outskirts of Windhoek that apparently doesn't belong to him. More of this story in today's Namibian Sun paper, also to be checked on the Namibian Sun website. The Brave Gladiators have moved up 31 places in the latest International Federation of Association Football World Rankings released. The Gladiators were previously ranked 145 in the world and are now ranked 114th, but moved one place down on the African ranking from 25th to 26th. However, the team remains in the 5th position in the COSAFA region behind South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Angola. Stiff competition is expected at the Senior National Athletics Championships, which started today at the Independence Stadium in Windhoek, or rather is to start this afternoon around 6 o'clock. Close to 250 athletes from the country will converge today and tomorrow. Chairman of the newly appointed FIFA Normalisation Committee for the Namibia Football Association, Bessie Wirab, yesterday said that they will waste little time in putting shoulder to wheel in their new assignment, saying their first meeting is scheduled for Monday. All-conquering MTC Namibia Netball Premier League title holders, Namibian Correctional Service, will be out to preserve their unbeaten start at Wolfish Bay this weekend. They face coastal sides 11 Arrows this evening, the Namibian Navy tomorrow afternoon, and Blue Waters on Sunday. Now we go for a break. Once we return, we will look at this weekend's rugby in the micro-soap segment of the show.
Choose your flex package with Paratus today. Sign up for ultra-fast fiber with the convenience of mobile LTE. That's 2 products in one bundle. It's new, it's one bill, and you can stay connected in more than one location.
For more information, visit paratus.africa/NA.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Choose your flex package with Paratus today. Sign up for ultra-fast fiber with the convenience of mobile LTE. That's 2 products in one bundle. It's new, it's one bill, and you can stay connected in more than one location.
For more information, visit paratus.africa/NA.
Always prepared. Paratus.
Welcome back from that short break. Now, the Namibia Rugby Union League kicks off this weekend. In Rehoboth, we will see action between FNB Rugby 1 versus FNB Kudus in Windhoek, and then Unam will see, or rather at Unam is going to face Western Suburbs as well. There will be action at Wanderers as well, whereas Wanderers will face Rio Falcon. There will be action in Grootfontein with the home team going up against Trasco United. NRU Reserve League matches will also preside with 2 o'clock kick-offs between the respective clubs' second teams. Here is an interview with Namibia Rugby Union CEO John Heynes, done by sports reporter Andrew Poorman.
So with us, the CEO of the Namibia Rugby Union, Mr. John Heynes. John, so your first, is it a month already in the office? How has it been going?
No, it's just been 3 weeks so far. I must say it's been going well. I've been faced with challenges, but nothing that can be handled in the NRU office.
So you also, this week you had some sevens trials for the first time. Maybe just tell us a little bit about how that went.
Yeah, it went actually well. It took place last night here in Windhoek and at the coast. And I must say the attendance of the players was well attended, I must say. And it was quite well supported. The coach, we will basically now find out who's the coach, and then the manager that's currently at the coast, that is Mr. Colin Stevens. So I must say it went well, pretty well. It was nice to see.
What does this lead up to with the sevens? What is in the pipeline for the sevens Namibia team?
Well, the whole preparation in the trials is basically set up for the sevens qualifiers. That's going to take place in Uganda, and that will take place from the 23rd until the 24th of April. So that is basically preparing for a World Cup qualifier.
Okay, so this coming weekend we also finally have the start of the new NRU leagues, the Premier League, the Reserve League, and also the women starting to play. So also they'll be playing 2 rounds, not like the previous 2 years, which were obviously disrupted by COVID. So how do you see this league developing this season?
I must say, with the delay, the league was supposed to start on the 12th of March. But now with the kick-off right on our doorstep, the 2nd of April, everyone, the clubs, they are looking forward to the start of the season. And like I said, it will be a double round, 15s, and then it's quite exciting to see that we also have the women's rugby also taking place. That will be the 10s and then also the 15s. So it's I must say it's a season to look forward to. And yes, we had challenges last season, and we were looking forward to complete a successful and uninterrupted season.
Yeah, so obviously there were, like you said, some challenges at the end of last season. Do you foresee anything like that happening again, or has any measures been taken to rectify such irregularities or something?
Well, I think in any sport organization, with my background, when I look back to my career or my stint at Cricket Namibia, you need to have a plan in place, and that plan would be just to make sure that you don't sit dormant. It all depends on what the regulations will stipulate, and then you just reassess and apply accordingly. And I must say that FNB once again made it possible to supporting the teams with the sponsors, and I must commend FNB for their continuous support and commitment. But yeah, we're looking forward to an uninterrupted season, to be honest.
Yeah, so at the national level, this is obviously a World Cup qualifying year, so it's timely for our local league also to start in time and to get our rugby going. So do you see this league feeding into the national team that's going to France for the World Cup qualifiers in July?
Yes, there was we had to start from the beginning. Is that we had a meeting. There's now the coaching staff and the management staff with the coach and the supporting staff. That is Alistair. That took place on Monday, and that Zoom meeting was just planning and reassessing what can be done. And the local league built up towards the preparation of the World Cup qualifier that's taking place in France. And then there's also a program that will be shared with players by the end of this week, and that will lead up to a 2-week camp. The first camp will then take place in South Africa, and hopefully the second leg of the camp will take place just a week before the World Cup qualifier starts in France.
I see. Thank you. That's all for now. So thank you for all your inputs behind the scenes, and we look forward to a successful season.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Well, thank you very much for that. It's going to be exciting league rugby starting this weekend. Now let's take another short break, and then once we return, we will head over to the Zoom In segment of our show, and that of course is with Olsen Kahiriri. Local football commentator and sports consultant Olsen Kahiriri has welcomed the appointment of the Normalisation Committee, saying it's indicative that FIFA finally realized that Namibian football is heavily divided and they were rather headed for the doldrums. Here is what he had to say. Well, yes, Olsen Kahiriri, welcome to the show. And just to start off, a new normalization committee was rather announced on this week. What are your sentiments maybe towards this new normalization committee? Since it's the second one, do you really honestly think that they will bring the change that is needed at the Namibia Football House?
Yeah, Limba, thanks for having me, and thanks for the viewers to have to share this great adventure. I will have to call it adventure in Namibian football, because we are now currently known for having normalizing committees. I think we are following, if I'm not mistaken, Ghana, who also had 2 normalizing committees imposed into their country. And the challenges and situation and the infights in Namibian football did not give FIFA any other options than to install a normalizing committee. Because if you look at the report that they have given that lead to them appointing a normalizing committee, one of the important issues that they have raised was that the division that is within football is very scary. The other thing is the powers that the Secretary General was having, because he was in charge of the administrative and the executive powers, and that could not be given to one person. And that's why even in our own Namibian constitution, there ought to be separations of power. A board or an executive structure should hold the Secretary General accountable. Now, if all these powers is concentrated on one person, obviously the accountability will be shaking, and that's why I also agree with FIFA that there should be forensic investigation done, forensic audit that they have said that it should be done, because at the end of the day, how was this person approving all these things, and how was he doing things in the office? Now, coming to your main question, the one that is things going to change, or what do we anticipate? First of all, I welcome the normalizing committee as a pool of technocrats that are strictly serious on the basis of governance, because that's one of the most important things that we have been lacking in our football over the years. Because Africans, if we want to move to the likes of the English FA, the South Africa, the SAFA, and all these things, governance should be your priority. And if you have a team of people who believes in corporate governance, we are fortunate that we have 2 legal minds who are women, for that matter, for women empowerment and things of that magnitude. So my belief at this moment in time is that as Namibians, we should rally behind this normalizing committee.
Okay.
Give them the support that they need in order for them to take the right decision, because it's long overdue. We need football.
Yeah. At some point also you guys had a demonstration as well, or rather you handed over a petition to the visiting FIFA delegation that was here earlier this year. Do you think that might have also pushed them, or rather helped in this regard as to forming a normalization committee, and maybe just some of the things that the FIFA was looking at that time?
Yeah, I'm not this type of people who always want to brag about the actions that they have taken, because actions that we normally take is in the interest of the public. So yes, the petition probably got very serious attention to FIFA. If you look at how we crafted the petition, things that we have been talking about, replacement of the Secretary General, the appointment of another normalizing committee, the forensic audit into how money is being diverted to a non-sanctioned league and all these things from the women's desk and all these things ought to be audited, and those were most of our cries in the petition, the non-payment of the national team and all these things. So we saw when FIFA made the final conclusions as to uncover what is happening really in Namibian football, they came to realize that seriously the division has captured the game, and at the center of it there was a progressive force, and we mentioned it also in our petition about it, and rightfully the team of people who worked tirelessly, there were a group of people also who engaged with FIFA directly, and to air out these things so that FIFA understands that the picture that the administrators of football was painting to FIFA was far different from what the reality is. Now, all those teams played a pivotal role. The hunger from the NPL to see or engage with FIFA also drove to a certain nature that seriously there's something that is wrong that needs the attention of FIFA or someone to fix the football. So yes, it worked, and we are very, very thankful that FIFA has taken this bold decision to admit that in Namibian football, for us to move forward is to bring a character of the likes of Uzi, Wirap, and Chase, and the Kashairas, and you understand, in order for us to paint a different picture. And my message to them also is the fact that in a divided football like this one, there is no losers. Those who are removed from the administration of football, we also need them. We don't need to throw them away. Football is a uniting force, but as long as we have a direction that is collectively speaking to the future of football. So the first thing that we ought to do is to bring to the table of discussion the NFA, the NPL, because the NPL, whether we want or not, would have to drive the professional football in this country. The league that was created by the NFA should be scrapped off because it was created out of anger. It was a frivolous action that was taken by those who were in charge of football at that time. Because let's be honest, for you to run a professional league, you need more or less 25 million. And that is money that NFA does not have. NFA has a burden. They can't sustain the national team. They can't sustain the first division. They can't sustain the second division, the women's desk, and all other administrative issues. Why would they want to hold on to a project that is beyond them? You cannot just try and chew things that you cannot swallow. Right. So, so I think us bringing back the MPL in a sense of MOUs, because we must understand that these people will never come back into the helm of NFA, but MOUs would be the right direction for the engagement of the new normalizing committee.
All right, just lastly, Olsen, Namibia is looking to co-host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027 with Botswana. Now, looking at the Normalisation Committee that was brought in now, by the time we reach 2027, do you think the football house, or rather the football fraternity of Namibia, will be in a better state of health?
There is no other better time for me to be involved in Namibian football at this moment in time. I think I'm very excited from the developments that is happening. Why am I saying that? Look at the cabinet resolution. They have taken a resolution that they would be able to give a directive that the Namibian would bid with Botswana, and I was fortunate to have had lunch yesterday with the executive director of the Ministry of Sports and Youth to just have a courtesy engagement into the roadmap and future endeavors. I'm very, very positive the actions that government ought to take. Now, coming in the Normalisation Committee that is coming into place, vis-a-vis the direction, the aspirations of government for us to co-host, this can't be done without the NFA, because the NFA is the driving engine for us to have this AFCON being host. And for you to host such an event, you just don't need to plan for the years of until 2027. You must be able to attract also like the COSAFA games, the small tournaments, in order for you to critically and practically engaging yourself in preparation to get to the big event. So this is fortunate for us because it will improve stadiums. It will, everybody is calling for a professional league, and when these infrastructures are in place, they will play a pivotal role for us to improve sports in this country. So for me, you see the budget of sports have already started increasing. There's money put aside for the improvement of the Sam Nujoma stadiums. I'm hearing in corridors that the youth complex is also going to get a lot of attention. And so it's just the city of Windhoek that must also come and play a role in order for us to speak about future sports. Because if you speak of, I always say that we should be able to export talent. And if you export talent, look at the game between Senegal and Egypt. 70% of those players are multimillionaires, and they play in Europe. 70% of them. Now, these millions that they are making into sports, where do they take them? They take them back to their countries. And this is one of the elements that we must invest in order to have talent that is globally bringing money to this country. And I'm very, very optimistic, and I think the negativity that everybody think we have, it's not about individuals, it's about the love and passion of the game that we need to get for us to move forward.
All right.
So I need the Namibian people, especially in the sports, especially in football, to unite and work towards a common goal of bringing back football. And that's probably what we should sing as Namibians. And let's rally behind the Normalising Committee. And our doors are open. If they need anything, we can avail ourselves pro bono for free in order for our football to come back on the map as it ought to be, better, stronger, and I think we are about to conquer football as a household name as we used to be.
Thank you so much, Olsen.
Thanks for having me.
There you've heard it yourself from Olsen Kahiriri. I don't need to say much more. Now we cross over to none other than Arrie Hougaard with international news.
Good day everyone, it's time for international sports news, and I start off with the tennis news today, and it is still the Miami Open that's taking place in Florida in the United States of America. The WTA and ATP tours that's playing there, men and women, and on the men's side of the draw, a result I can mention is Daniil Medvedev, the number 2 seed, is out of the tournament. He was trying to get to the world number 1 position again. If he won this game, he was going to be number 1, overtaking Novak Djokovic, but it was Daniil Medvedev that lost to Hubert Hurkacz in 2 sets. He's a number 8 seed. Also through to the next round is Casper Ruud. He continues with his good form after beating Nick Kyrgios of Australia. Casper Ruud, he was too strong for the second seed, Alexander Zverev. 3 tight sets. The score was 6-3, 1-6 and 6-3. So in the Miami Open, both the number 1 and number 2 seeds bowing out. And also still in the tournament, through to the semi-finals is the young player from Spain, and his name is Carlos Alcaraz. And so they through to the next round. In the women's section, the final has been decided, or the players that's going to be in the final has been decided. 2 semi-finals done. The first semi-final, it is Iga Swiatek, the new world number 1, 20-year-old from Poland. She beat Jessica Pegula, the 16th seed, in 2 sets. 2 sets, it was 6-2 and 7-5. And then she will play against Naomi Osaka of Japan. That's showing good form now. She's unseeded in this tournament, and she beat Belinda Bencic of Switzerland. Belinda Bencic is the current Olympic Games champion, and she beat Belinda Bencic in 3 sets. The score was 6-4, 3-6 and 6-4. So the final going to be played between Iga Swiatek and Naomi Osaka. Now on to some golf news. There's the South African Women's or the South African Ladies Open tournament. Golf tournament is being played at the moment. It is in Cape Town at Steenberg Country Club. And after round 2, the leader at the moment is from Wales. And her name is Becky Bruinston. And she is from Wales, and she played a very good second round, 66. She played 6 under par, and she's leading. She's total after 2 rounds is 7 under par, 4 strokes ahead of Magdalena Silvermacher, and she's there on -3. Southern African interest is Leanne Pace. She's won the tournament 5 times before. Leanne Pace of South Africa, she's lower back or further back on even par at the moment, 7 shots behind the leader, Bruinston from Wales. Also on the PGA, the men's PGA Tour, there's the Valero Texas Open that started. The first round is done. That's a last tournament before the major, the Masters, take place next week. So at the Valero Texas Open at the moment, after the first round, the leader is Russell Knox of Scotland. He came in with a 7 under par score of 65. Just close behind him is Rasmus Hougaard of Denmark. He came in with a 66, that is 6 under par. And in third position at the moment is American Matt Kuchar on 5 under par. Big names also in the tournament. The defending champion Jordan Spieth, he battled. He was even par 72, and so too also Rory McIlroy also came in with a 72 level par. And it is also Bryson DeChambeau that's playing in the tournament. He came in with 73, so he is 1 shot over par. And now I continue international sport with MotoGP Sport League news. This coming weekend, it is the Argentinian Grand Prix on the motorcycles, and the news from that was the first day of qualifying, or the testing was on Friday, postponed by 24 hours. That was because flights that was meant to come in with equipment didn't arrive in time. So that will be on Saturday. Qualifying will still be on Saturday, and the race will be on Sunday. Argentinian Grand Prix with some of the favorites. Ania Bastianini, he's leading on the points with 30 points at the moment, and Brad Binder of South Africa, 2 behind him on 28. Also, to close off the international sport, it is the final of the Women's 50 Over Cricket World Cup that's going to take place on Sunday. That's going to be played in Christchurch, and the game is played between Australia and England. Australia is 6 times champion, and England is the defending champion. So the final being played on Sunday. That's international sports news for today, for the weekend. I hope you have a great sporting weekend. We talk again on Monday. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Arrie. We have come to the end of today's show. We will be back on Monday with a jam-packed edition, so catch us then.